Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter Nevada, play from anywhere.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you. Yeah.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Lily Etter with Boise State Volleyball. On the court, it's all about setting up the perfect play. And right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is serving up the perfect deal during our June anniversary sale. In volleyball, every point counts, and this June, every deal counts too. At Lithia Ford's anniversary sale, we're setting you up with incredible inventory and competitive pricing on all your favorite Ford models. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where your purchase helps support Boise State athletics through their NIL partnerships and athletic sponsorships. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, and the Blue and Orange store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's going on, Bronco Nation? Happy Friday, June 5th to you here at Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com. We're going to help you kickstart what is going to be a beautiful weather weekend, and I'm sure we'll see Prater on the golf course at some point. Hopefully everybody's barbecuing, having a good time this weekend, but we'll help you get just an hour closer here on Bronco Nation News Live. You got Mike Prater there in the Lithia Ford of Boise studios, KTIK The Ticket. My name is BJ Rains, Sun Cruiser Studios here in Meridian. Of course, our title sponsor is Lithia Ford of Boise. Mike, I mentioned Friday, beautiful weather. Should be a fun weekend. How are we doing?
Absolutely gorgeous weather out there. It's going to definitely be a fun weekend. So we'll see how it plays out, and hopefully everybody has a safe one. Get outside, do something fun, watch a little sports, and it's going to be kind of cool. So good way to kick it off right here. Let's get after it for the next hour.
And I will watch Mike Prater for the first time in history, my alma mater play in the Super Regionals. How about that? My Jayhawks are in the Super Regionals for baseball. That's kind of random and cool. And it's always been on my bucket list, Mike Prater, to go to Omaha in the College World Series. I've never been. I don't know if you've ever been. I've heard a lot of cool things about it. And I briefly approached my wife about the subject. If somehow my alma mater made it, is there a chance I could sneak away for a day? And it was not met with an immediate no. So you're telling me there's a chance maybe they got to take care of business this weekend first, but it might be a cool reason to finally go see the College World Series. Have you been to Omaha?
I have been to Omaha, but not for the College World Series. I actually was in Omaha a long time ago to cover the College Women's World Series even before, like in the 80s when Utah was there. I got shipped out there and hung out there. I got some fun college stories to tell about Omaha, but no, I've always been told that, and I'm not a college baseball guy. I didn't even know college baseball was going on right now. Hell, I didn't even know Kansas had a baseball team, but I'll go to Omaha for the College Baseball World Series because I've always been told that's a hell of a week, a hell of a good time. A good party, a great atmosphere, a great host that put on a really cool event. So I got some buddies that go every single year. I got one buddy that's been there like 15 years in a row. And one day, I'd love it. It's definitely on the bucket list just to go and kind of soak in the experience. I've always been told it's a really cool deal.
Yeah, Kentucky Derby. I mean, Boston Marathon. You go down the list of cool things that'd be a part of, and College World Series is certainly on the list for me. So I'd still put it at like a 10% chance, but we'll see. I'm holding out a little. When did they move the softball? Because now it's in Oklahoma City. I didn't realize it was in Omaha at one point too.
I covered the College Women's World Series in the 80s twice. The first time I did it, it was the AIWA. The second time I did it, it was the NCAA. So that was so long ago, dude. It was when women weren't even in the NCAA, affiliated in the NCAA. So that would have probably been 82, 83, 84 window and Utah had a really, really good softball team. I ended up dating the first baseman one summer, and then I got dumped for the running back when the football season started. So kind of a conflict of interest as a reporter. I kind of pulled my weight and thought the first baseman was a cutie, and we had some fun in Omaha. But that summer fling didn't last very long at all. I got hosed by the football player, man.
How could a athlete possibly choose a running back on the football team over a reporter? Come on.
Exactly. That's what I said. We were all young and dumb back in those days, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it's really cool. I mean, that event was really cool, but that was 35, 40 years ago. And obviously the baseball thing has just exploded into something that's a phenomenon that's really, really cool right now. So I understand what Texas won the Women's Softball World Series last night. And those ratings and those numbers and those teams are really, really big and monstrous. And it kind of always gives you, because we have this beautiful tie, as you do, with Coach Schultz and the softball team at Boise State and what they do, and got an affiliation with those guys and love what they do. And one day it'd be really cool to see Boise State get softball to that level. It's a really cool event. So those are kind of a cool spring sports for me.
Well, they're going to have to raise some NIL money in softball to make that happen. The Texas Tech pitcher there making like $1.4 million or whatever, and was the first, I believe, female, at least softball player over $1 million, and ended up getting them to the finals, but second year in a row, they fall short. They lose to Texas last night. You got that going on. Yeah, Super Regionals this weekend in baseball, and then you got NBA Finals, NHL. I'm sure you were watching last night. That was a tough one, man, for the Golden Knights to the disallowed goal, and then it goes to overtime. I mean, it was it's a fun time right now as a sports fan. You got the U.S. Open coming up in golf. I mean, there's just a lot going on right now, but that was a heck of a hockey game.
Yeah, it's a great sports month, and we've talked about that, guys, and the World Cup and everything else that's going on. It's not always the traditional stuff, but the month of June is absolutely insane sports month, and man, it's hard being a sports fan. I almost didn't make it this morning. I'm still hungover from last night's game, and we don't need to get into the hockey thing here, but that was an emotional gut punch, and that hurt. And that's sports are hard. They're intense and they're hard. And I saw. I saw somebody describe the Stanley Cup Finals like riding a motorcycle naked, high on cocaine with a stripper and jumping out of a helicopter. The adrenaline rush and the intensity and the craziness that goes on with the Stanley Cup playoffs and the way it goes back and forth. It's just beautiful television.
Yeah, refs host Vegas. Chaser Day says there was no goaltender. And it was certainly a controversial call, but goes to overtime. 1-1 coming back tomorrow night. I know Eric Stevens and our friends at Circa will be all over that one tomorrow night, Game 3. Right away, they only have one day off, right? Till Game 3 tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yep. And then they got Sunday. Everybody, NBA, NHL takes Sunday off, and then and everybody gets back at it on Monday. So I think between the two leagues, 8 championship games and 9 different nights. So it's kind of a fun time to be a sports fan right now.
For players, media, whatever, a quick turnaround to go from Carolina out to Vegas with the one. Usually they have the 2 days off for travel, but you're right with the Sunday. So a lot going on, and that includes locally as well. We had the news earlier this week. Max Rice back, Mike Prater as a coach. I know you and I have talked about this for seems like a month almost. I mean, it's been pretty much out there. And we did a poll on the morning that it came out. We did a poll on the show, Mike. Do you like it? Do you not really care? Do you not like it? Kind of just three options. And it was overwhelmingly likes it. And that may not have been the case 3 weeks ago. I feel like maybe the fact that you kind of, first kind of mentioned it might happen, and then some other, kind of got out there on social and message boards, and maybe it was kind of a soft landing, I guess, so to speak, where folks had 2-3 weeks to come to grips with this and maybe weren't quite as frustrated, or not as many people were frustrated, or maybe some had changed their mind. Maybe I'm wrong on that. You tell me, but it felt like when it came out, most people were just, the ones that didn't like it kind of just knew it was going to happen eventually, and maybe weren't quite as mad at that point. But it was, I want to say 80% of the people on our poll were okay with it. The other 15% didn't really care. And there was very few people, actually, at least the ones on this chat. And I know that's not a representation of everybody. There's still people out there that are certainly unhappy with it. But at least on this show, it was overwhelmingly positive when the news came out the other day.
I think people get it. I do. And I understand the other side too, guys. And if you don't like this hire, you don't like it for one reason and one reason only. You don't like Leon Rice. And I get that too. I'm not sitting here advocating to jump on Leon because, that's fine. I mean, we just talked about being a sports fan, and it's hard to make these decisions sometimes. And I understand the angst toward Leon. I understand the angst toward this basketball program right now. This basketball program is kind of at a crossroads. And so if you don't like Leon Rice, you don't like the direction of this basketball program, you're not going to like any kind of headline that comes across Boise State's basketball right now, unless they signed the number 1 player in the country or whatever, and that ain't happening. So they signed the coach's son to the basketball staff, number 4 assistant. So everybody says, we'll see if Max Rice is good. I mean, first of all, when the season ends, we're going to know nothing more about Max Rice because he's the number 4 assistant, guys. It's not like he's this big impact guy. He's a guy starting a career that he hopes lasts for the next 45 years. And it's literally, yesterday was day 1. They gave him a key fob and an employee handbook yesterday, for God's sakes, and told him where his office was and where the bathroom was. So he's just starting, but I think it's really, really
cool.
Where
the bathroom was? What, is he new? Come on.
Well, I don't know how much he hangs out. I mean, he said his first order of business was to sit in Leon's office and get told the new employee speech. I go, he really gave you that? And he goes, yeah, he did. So I think it's great. I think it's cool. And whether you believe this or not, I said this the other day, and I know it's a little bit of a stretch, and you probably don't believe this, but I don't think that this basketball program right now has anything to sell to the public as they go into a brand new conference. Anything. They can't sell the arena because that's a mess. They can't sell the roster because nobody knows anything about it. They can't sell the head coach because everybody's pissed off at him. You can't sell the assistant staff because half of them have already gone, and they're trying to rebuild that. You probably can build a schedule. And I know the first 5 games of the non-con are kind of fun, and Gonzaga's coming here, so you can maybe sell that just a little bit. But he's got 11 more games to add to his schedule, and I would imagine all 11 of those games would be kind of patsies, middle-of-the-road stuff, because he's got the 5 big ones already right now. The only thing that's sellable to me right now with this basketball program, not the only thing, the biggest thing you can sell with this basketball program right now is Max Rice. And I know that's not much, and the momentum will continue to build, and they'll get this basketball program rolling again, hopefully in the fall. But I think the Max Rice hire is probably one of the better things that's happened to this program this offseason.
Now, I know the first time we brought it up, you had said kind of the optics were not great, and I don't want I don't want to say you weren't a fan of it at first, but at least the public perception of it at first, you were a little critical of the timing of it. And then I think as we've learned more, maybe you talk to more people, it feels like that. Maybe you still feel that, but you can also, both sides can be true, that it doesn't look good, but on terms of a basketball move, it is good. What did you take away from Max Rice was in studio yesterday. If anybody hasn't seen that, go watch the KTIK 95.3 The Ticket YouTube channel. That was your video segment yesterday. Good to see Max on camera there yesterday, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed catching up with him. We're supposed to get him on next week once they've started workouts, so nice job getting the first interview there. But what'd you take away, and did you leave the interview feeling any different about this than when you went in?
No, I didn't. He said all the right things. He's a smart kid. He's a likable kid. He's everything that you want. He's a competitive kid. He's a loyal kid to Boise State. And I think it's really, really good. Yes, let's go back to that because there's been a misconception out there, and everything you just said is 100% fact. Guys, the optics of this hire are horrible. Absolutely horrible. The timing of this is horrible because, it's the nepotism thing. It's daddy's little boy thing. It's almost starting over again. And I think the Rice family kind of enjoys that and kind of digs their heels in and uses it as a chip on their shoulder. But the optics are bad. That's 100% fact. The optics of this and the timing of this hire are not good, especially where this basketball program is now, especially where this basketball program ended its last season. On the other side, Mike Prater thinks it's a good hire. Those two things can be 100% accurate. So there's no black and white. Prater's not being flippy-floppy. I'm not being in a gray area. It's 100% fact that the optics of this hire are bad. That's a fact. And it's 100% fact that Mike Prater is very much a fan of this hire. So if that clears things up, hopefully it does, because I know I've been taking a lot of beating for that. And you can separate the two. I have separated the two. And I think Max Rice is a great hire. And I think he's going to be good for this basketball program.
And I'll tell you what, for everybody that wanted to get on Max about only got to see the court because his dad was a coach and he wasn't good enough to get as many minutes as he got. I mean, I was doing some research the other day. Some of the numbers were in the press release. I found some other ones on my own. But I mean, you talk about when you really dive down and look at the numbers, I know he had the extra COVID year, which did help shape some of those. And, and he has the record for games played, the record for wins, and some of the other stats. But unfortunately, in this COVID era now, Mike, every stat and every record book has just been ripped up because of that. So I don't think you can necessarily hold that against somebody like that. But when you talk about like some of the numbers and you're looking at it and you're like, man, like he ended up being a lot better player than I think a lot of people ended up giving him credit for when you look at a lot of the numbers. I mean, one of six players in the history. And I know this, it's not like we're talking about a Kentucky or a Duke or something here. Boise State basketball doesn't have the history of some programs, and I get that. They don't have a ton of NBA players and things like that. I understand that, but one of six players in program history to have 1,200 points, 400 rebounds, 200 assists, and 100 steals, and the other five are Justinian Jessup, Chandler Hutchison, Anthony Drimmick, Derek Marks, and Kobe Carl. I mean, that's a heck of a list to be on. And then you think about 1,257 points. He's the 14th all-time leading scorer in the history of this program, number 7 in the history of this program in made three-pointers at 213. I mean, he's a top 15 player in the history of this program by the stats. And if his last name wasn't Rice, people would be saying this was the greatest hire of all time, bringing him back home. So I thought it was noteworthy because you go back and for all the grief he got, and I know those early years, maybe his freshman year, he played 5 extra minutes more than he should have. I don't know, but the way it all shaped up, double-digit scorer twice, an all-Mountain West performer. I mean, he was a much better player when you look at the numbers, and I think a lot of people gave him credit for it.
You are 100% fact. I can't dispute a single letter that just came out of your mouth, but you forgot one.
Clip that off. Clip that off, by the way. Save that quote, please.
But you forgot one, and which I think is the most important one. And I don't think anybody appreciated Max. Most people didn't appreciate Max Rice for what he did until last year. And the intangibles that he brought to a basketball court, the leadership that he brought as a player. Everybody says, oh, he's just going to be a yes man to Leon. You guys couldn't be further from the truth, man. That is one of the most ignorant comments I've ever heard. Max Rice is the kind of guy that's going to get in Leon's face and say,
no more than anybody on that staff.
Exactly. He's done it before. He's done it in public. He's done it in games. He's done it in private. That's exactly what's going to happen here. Yeah, they have this beautiful father-son relationship, and I'm sure that there's a delicate balance there. But Max has been dealing with this since he was born. Max has been dealing with this since he started playing basketball. Max certainly dealt with it at Boise State. And Max is not going to be a yes man to Leon. And Max is going to earn his stripes. He knows he's the fourth assistant right now, and he knows he's got to work his way up. And that's exactly what he did here as a player. But the intangibles and the one word that's been missing this past year with this basketball team, and the one word that we've talked about more than anything else in this entire offseason, the dog mentality. Give me the guy that's leading the league in scraped knees, leading the league in bloody elbows, leading the league and going out and just doing the dirty work and the intangibles and putting a basketball team on your shoulders. If Max Rice was on last year's basketball team, they probably would have won a couple of games that we'll talk about forever, like the Hawaii Pacific, or maybe the loss at the end of the season in the tournament. Max Rice was a good basketball player. Max Rice was an elite mental athlete with the kind of intangibles that everybody wants on their roster, whether he's a player or a coach. And I don't think that gets talked about enough.
And I will say this too. I saw some people saying, oh, Leon's just making sure he gets on before he retires or leaves or whatever. Like, I don't know if you know how this works, folks, but when a new coach comes in, like they bring in an entirely new staff in, like Max Rice on the staff right now. If Leon gets fired or quits after next season, doesn't guarantee Max Rice a job on next year's coaching staff.
No, it doesn't. And Max Rice is highly marketable. And Max Rice is highly networked. Max Rice has got 30 of the 50 top college basketball coaches in his cell phone right now, and he could go get a job anywhere. It might have to be a GA. It might have to be a low-level staffer or whatever. But Max Rice is not worried about the future of a college basketball coach. So I'm not worried about that at all. Yeah, you're right. The timing, that's ridiculous. Those are guys just reaching for straws. Those are guys that are just taking anger out and putting it in a direction that doesn't make any sense at all.
And we had Tim Duryea on the show a couple days ago when this came out to kind of talk about like what is the role Max Rice is going to have as that fourth assistant? What is he going to do and kind of paint that picture? And he talked a lot about player development, a lot of being in the gym, working with guys, and that starts on Monday. These guys are all arriving in town. Most of them arrived yesterday or Tuesday, and they're going to officially start their 8 weeks of summer program on Monday. And the rules have changed a lot now. I mean, you can have full team practices pretty much 3-4 times a week throughout the summer. There's a ton of individual time. So these next 8 weeks, I mean, it was important for him to get in here and get started on this because he's going to be living in the gym, which is where he loves to be. And I think, again, not trying to minimize his, job during a game or on this team, but a lot of his work is going to be behind the scenes in the gym. And you talk about Damari Wheeler-Thomas and Ty Rogers and Pearson Carmichael and Julian Bowie and some of these guards. I mean, as I said, to have a top 15 scorer in program history working out with a lot of these guards all summer, I think could be an intriguing thing to watch.
100%. That's exactly what he said on our show yesterday in terms of that. So the player development, watching a lot of film, getting into the gym and just working with these guys a lot. I mean, that kind of goes back to, and you probably know this story as well as anybody, but Lexus Williams kind of did that as well. And one of the things that Lexus Williams did is he took Max under his wing and really kind of not groomed him, but talked to him about certain things, worked with him on that inside flop shot. You remember when Max would drive to the basket and he'd have that little flip shot, and he started doing that like the last year and a half of his career. That's all working in the gym behind the scenes quietly with Lexus Williams and just going over things like that. Player development. And Max is going to be really, really good at this player development stuff. I think he's going to be elite right off the bat in that kind of stuff, networking and working with the guys. He also mentioned on our show yesterday that he's going to kind of focus on the offensive side of the coaching staff. And obviously Leon Rice has to go out and hire an offensive coordinator to replace Tim Duryea. Max said that they've got a couple of names. They're getting close. They're going to announce that here pretty soon. You may know who it is. I don't. But he'll work with him. So he'll be kind of a offensive assistant 1A, and then certainly in charge of player development and getting out there behind the scenes and trying to work with these guys. And it might just be little individual skills here, little individual tricks there. But I think Max Rice is going to be fun to watch. And it's going to be fun to watch him grow his career because he's probably going to be coaching until the day you and I die, BJ.
Well, hopefully that's not for a long time. But I will say, you mentioned the 5 games they already have set: the Butler home game at Wichita State, the neutral side Nebraska, and then just yesterday coming out that they're going to play, not official yet. My understanding is not all the contracts have been signed, but going down just south of Los Angeles to play good old-fashioned New Mexico, resume that rivalry, keep it going. New Mexico and Santa Clara, who were both top 50 net teams last year, so they're building the schedule. I heard the Idaho Falls, they've been over there in Idaho Falls the last couple of years, Mike Prater. That's going to happen still. My understanding is that's going to be more than one game, though. Maybe another one of these kind of 4-team things if they can get enough teams to go over there to Idaho Falls. There was some talk maybe even New Mexico was going to be part of that. And then once they got it switched to Southern California, they may need to get some new teams. But I heard that they're still working on another kind of neutral thing in Idaho Falls, Thanksgiving weekend, maybe one game, maybe two. And then you're right, a lot of what they call buy games where you just write a check and pay a team to come in. And maybe you can get a Wyoming or a Mountain West team to be willing to do that. But going to be a lot of the lower level type teams probably filling out the rest of the schedule. And I know, Mike, we joke and you joke, whatever, that maybe, compared to basketball and football, your football interest in this town's football interest is certainly higher. But you talk about not having anybody to market and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'll tell you this, like, if they let us come watch a practice at some point this summer, like just because of the unknowns and Max Rice coming back and who is Ty Rogers and all these newcomers and we have no idea how it's going to go. It could be it could be terrible, and it could be Leon's last season. He could go. They could have somehow caught lightning in a bottle and found 5 guys that mesh perfectly and go to the Sweet 16. Like, there's so many possibilities for this team. I'm at least intrigued, and I don't know, I'm more of a basketball guy than a lot of people, but I'm at least intrigued to see what it looks like. I'll tell you that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's some great mystery in this. There's fun. I mean, it's tough on fans, but I just told everybody it's hard being a sports fan. And if you're a loyal, passionate follower of Boise State basketball, it hasn't been fun for quite a while. So that Hawaii Pacific game certainly set everybody back on its heels, and nobody's really been able to recover from that yet. So that's everybody on the inside of that basketball family. That's everybody on the outside of that basketball family. And yeah, I mean, the roster, he did it on paper. It looks kind of fun. I know Max was all fired up about the roster, but we'll see. I mean, we'll form our own opinions when we start watching these guys in October, November, and December. And you're right. It's the storylines are off the charts. And getting to know 10 brand new basketball players is going to be really kind of fun and really, really kind of cool. So let's see what Leon does. Leon's 100%. I don't know if he's on the hot seat. He's on the warm seat. And if we're looking at this season kind of weird halfway through the season and things are getting a little squirrely, that seat's going to get a little warm. But he's been there before. He's been on the warm seat before, and he's a grinder. And Leon Rice is a fighter. He's a battler. And he's just one of those tough dudes that's never going to take no for an answer. So I am very curious. That's no prediction. He, like you said, he could go 0-32. But I like the storylines in our business where we're telling stories. Right now, basketball is kind of fun.
And I know the bigger games are the ones that usually come out first. And I know, as we said, most of the remaining games will be patsies. But I find it's usually how you schedule tells you how you feel about your team. And the fact that the first 5 games are all like very losable games that we've had announced, like they could have, after last year, played 14 of these easy home games and just got a ton of wins and been 25 and whatever. I mean, you're playing Gonzaga, Utah State, San Diego State. Like, you got 6 or 7, I don't want to say guaranteed losses, but you got some tough games in the conference. And for them to have 5 already, what I would call losable games in the non-conference, that to me tells me that maybe they could be right or wrong, but they at least feel like they're going to have a chance to win those, and maybe they feel a little better about it than some people do. Time will tell. We'll see. There's a lot, like I said, to go. It's the first day of workouts on Monday, but I am very intrigued to see what it looks like, and I think it could crash and burn. It could be great, but I do think in terms of intrigue and unknowns and questions, as you said, there's more of that going into this year than I think we've had in a while. Oh, you're muted. I think you somehow went away, Mike. I don't know why.
Oh, there you go. And I'm okay with the schedule because, and I've been the one guy that's beat up this schedule more than anybody, but I think they've done a decent job. And I know that's Mike Burns' situation, Mike Burns' job. And I think they've done a better job in the last couple of years of getting better games. And like I said, there's 21 games. They got 11 more to go. It sounds like if they're going to get another one of those MTV events and in MTE events in Idaho Falls, you think that maybe one of those can be fairly decent. I'd like to always see one decent non-conference home game. I think right now Butler's a home game, right?
It is, but it's also, people are complaining it's on a Sunday.
Yeah, and it's not sexy. That's the sexiest it's got, and it's on a Sunday. That doesn't do it for me. So I need Clemson on a Sunday morning with Jay Wright and CBS. Yeah, bring it on. I think that's kind of cool. Butler on a Sunday on wherever they're going to put it, I have no idea. It doesn't matter. And I don't care what you guys say about Butler's history or Butler's tradition. That is not a marketable solar game. It's a good game for Boise State to have on its non-conference schedule, but it's not. You don't market that game and sell tickets to that game. So I would love one more decent. I'm not looking for.
Would Nevada do it for you? Would Nevada be that team?
Nevada would be qualified as decent. I probably think of a little bit more than that because that's just kind of been there, done that. But yeah, that's a great game. That's a good game. That's a good pickup. I want Boise State to have a home and home with the Nevadas of the world, or 2-1 or whatever. I got no problem with Boise State basketball going to Reno and every now and then, or vice versa. Some of these other ones. So yeah, give me another home game. Fill in 10 patsies, get that multi-team event going in Idaho Falls, and I think that schedule is going to be perfectly fine.
I agree. And one thing that I'd like to see them do, and I have no insight on this, they probably won't, but I think I've said it when you've been on, I'd like the first game to be that big game. Get Nevada. How about Nevada or somebody be the opening game on the Monday night of the season? A, you preserve yourself where if you do lose, your season's not over like it was after the Hawaii Pacific game. And B, you get fans. I mean, the Oregon game has everybody. Are people more excited for the Oregon game because it's the first game than if the first game was the South Dakota game? I mean, I think that maybe not. Football season, you're excited no matter what. But all summer, thinking about Autzen Stadium in Oregon, I think you'd have way more intrigue in October, September and October if you had if the Butler game would have been first, or the Nevada game, or a little bigger game than Concordia University or whoever it might be. I know they like to ease into it. Obviously, that backfired last year, but and Mike Burns has a tough job. I know it's not easy, but I think if you could get a bigger first game, that might help with some of the fan interest and stuff.
I love it. And that's something to market, and they need something to market right now. And that schedule's starting to get a little juice. And if they could just kind of top it off with a couple of little cherries, that'd be kind of cool. And I love that idea. I think you did mention that before. And that's a fantastic idea. We're in an era, guys, now where if even the Hawaii Pacific, if Boise State would have taken care of business, I don't think that they would have been dinged by that Hawaii Pacific game last year. So in the end of the day, that did set the tone for a season that really just didn't get off the ground. And you got to be careful about that kind of stuff. But if Boise State opens up the season with a home loss to Nevada, I think that can make you better. And it certainly gives me something to think about. It certainly gives me the offseason. It gives me a little bit of a juice in the offseason. So yeah, load me up with some Concordia, Hawaii Pacific. No, give me Nevada.
And I don't know if that's going to happen. I know at one point they were talking. I don't know if they're possible to be one of the Idaho Falls teams now, or if that could be a home and home. I don't know. But as you said, 11 games is a lot of games to still have to fill here. So we'll see. But Monday starts the summer workout program. I believe Leon, they might do some player availability, maybe let the media watch practice next week. Who knows? But they'll officially get going next week, and then gear up towards the season. Mike, do you want to, speaking of basketball, let people know about the Horseshoe Basketball Camp? We are going to talk football here with Rasean Jones in just a second, our number 11 player on the list. But next weekend, the Horseshoe Collective Basketball Camp, and volleyball camp for that matter, next Saturday and Sunday, June 13th and 14th. If you're interested in having your kid go down, play on the Extra Mile arena floor, learn from some of the stars and get to know some of these new players, next Saturday and Sunday, the Horseshoe Collective Basketball Camps. Get more information at horseshoecamps.com. And if you check Matt Bauscher's social media, Matt Bauscher is giving away a code for 50% off. He's just paying $50 of your entry, Mike. If you want to go to this camp, Matt Bauscher is going to help make it happen, and he's going to pay $50 of your entry if you use his promo code. It's on his social medias. Check it out. And again, Matt Bauscher, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, BauscherRealEstate.com. Check him out. Matt Bauscher, he helped buy and sell our home. He can do the same for you. 252-9877. Check him out online at BauscherRealEstate.com. Had to take my truck into Lithia Ford of Boise the other day, Mike. Some weird light came on, and I'm sure you're not surprised to know that Jim Sturk and company doing a great job helping us get that taken care of. It was under warranty. It was a quick fix. The serviceman Teddy did a great job helping us. So every step of the way, whether it's new, whether it's pre-owned, whether it's service, they have great quick pull-up oil change services as well. Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out online at lithiafordboise.com. Sun Cruiser, perfect time this weekend if you're heading golfing, heading barbecuing, kids baseball games, whatever. You got the Sun Cruisers, the real iced tea, the real vodka, whether it's the iced tea vodkas, the lemonade vodkas. Sun Cruiser, low calorie, low carb. Pick up a Sun Cruiser today. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. They've got Pearson Carmichael. They've got many players. They're now back on board with Learfield Bronco Sports Properties as the official sponsor at Boise State. You see their logo back in Extra Mile Arena, back in Albertson Stadium. So Idaho Central Credit Union, we appreciate them. ICCU.com. I'm a proud member. Prater's a proud member. Others are as well. Idaho Central Credit Union. Check them out online, ICCU.com. Jackson's has you covered. If you want to go to Roaring Springs, you can buy 2 Coca-Cola products at Jackson's or Extra Mile and save up to $32. That's right. 2 Coca-Cola products at Jackson's or Extra Mile, and you get a voucher for savings up to $32 from our friends at Roaring Springs. And don't forget, 99-cent fountain drink at Jackson's. 99-cent fountain drink from our friends at Jackson's. Anytime, day or night, using that Let's Go Rewards app. And one more quick plug for Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group. We appreciate Stan, Steven, the whole Nicolason family, Carl, for the years of running Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations surrounding outskirts of town and things, but decades running Taco Bell locations, proud family-owned business. And if you're looking for a delicious meal, they're changing the menu daily. The Cantina line is really taking off. Taco Bell. And we got kids' baseball games all weekend, so I'm sure we'll be hitting up Taco Bell. The cheesy roll-ups, quick, easy, and they can eat them between games. So get more information, TacoBellWorks.com. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. Mike, speaking of Albertson Stadium, before we get to Rasean Jones, I know you guys gave away some tickets yesterday. Ashton Genty is returning to town. He's going to do a little media scrum tomorrow at 5 o'clock, but seen some pictures kind of starting to come out. I know Jay posted some. I think Channel 2 had a report on it, but the dirt is mostly down. The blue is gone. The monster truck show is coming tomorrow, and sounds like, who knows, maybe they could get 20,000 people in there. I don't know what the crowd is they're hoping to get, but you look online and kind of do the math with tickets that are available, and it's picked up. Certainly Ashton Genty announced that he was coming, and he's going to drive a monster truck into the stadium. I mean, what more fitting? Props to the marketing guy that came up with that idea. But going to be, they want to raise more money, do some more fun things, and certainly seeing that dirt finally down there on the blue is a unique thing coming to Albertson Stadium tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's very unique. That's the perfect word for it. And every time it happens, and it doesn't happen very often, it is very weird. And I love the social media comments about people take it emotionally. It's like walking into somebody's house and, peeing on the carpet. It's like people take offense to covering up the blue turf. And I get it. It's an emotional attachment that's really, really strong and really, really cool. And you go read the social media, it's like, what happened to my blue turf? You can't cover up my blue turf. And then, of course, there's always, the knucklehead out there that says it's never looked better when they get it covered up. So I always enjoy the passionate blue turf talk. And it is weird. It's happened before. I remember the first time walking into that stadium for that soccer friendly, I think in 2015, between AC Bilbao and Tijuana, and real green grass. That was just very surreal. And then we've all been in there for concerts, Garth Brooks and Luke Combs and Jelly Roll and Post Malone, and you can't see blue anywhere. It's kind of weird. So I saw those videos, and yeah, the dirt's all down. I think it's like 3,000 sheets of plywood and 400 tons of dirt or whatever kind of crazy nonsense it is. And it's a big production,
274 dump truck loads. I know that.
Okay, 274 dump truck loads. It's crazy amount of dirt, and it's going to be fine. They'll clean that up. This is a smooth operating process, and then by Monday or Tuesday, it'll all be gone, and they'll get back at it. And then all of a sudden, they're going to rip up the blue turf and get it ready for Banana Ball later on this summer. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool event. It's a unique event tomorrow, and I know they're trying to push some tickets, and maybe tickets didn't quite go as well, but everybody wants to see Ashton Genty, and it's always cool to see him hanging out doing his thing. He hasn't been here for some. Has he been here since Pro Day? I think after Pro Day on campus, he took off and became a pro. I'm not sure we've seen him publicly in Boise since.
Yeah, I don't know if we have. And here's a quick video Jay Tuss sent me, by the way, of the dirt covering the field. They're setting up some of the banners and signs and things. Like you said, still tickets available. There's still family 4-packs and things out there if you want to go. Of course, my eyes go to the north end zone and seeing more progress down there. That continues to look great down there. But they laid down some cloth and then a piece of plywood and then all the dirt on top of it. And I'm not a big monster truck show guy. I did go to one back in the day at the Idaho Center with my kids, but sounds like it'll be a pretty cool event. And I know they're trying to do some unique things there, but I'm sure Nathan Burke and company are cringing a little bit and just kind of praying that everything goes well, because they need every piece of that blue turf that they can get to sell it. And I will tell you, Mike, Big Cat, Big Cat bought the 10-yard line. You saw that story, right?
I did see that.
Next Thursday, he'll be on BNN. We got
nice.
Big Cat from Barstool coming on BNN next Thursday to talk about. They also interviewed Kellen Moore to talk about and had him on last week talking about the not being in the College Football Hall of Fame. And he bought originally the 10-yard line, and then I guess it ended up being a much bigger piece that they went ahead and sold him to put in the Barstool offices there. So I reached out, and through his PR person, we're getting Big Cat on next week. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Nicely done. I'll watch that. That'll be fun. So,
all right, Rasean
really cool.
Jones comes in at number 11 on our list. Obviously, a lot of hype and a lot to live up to, and I almost feel sorry for the young man because based on everything all spring, I mean, people are expecting him to have 100 catches and 20 touchdowns this year, Mike. I mean, he's obviously had a heck of a spring, obviously going to be a key player. We've got him at number 11. I don't know if you think that's too high, too low. Part of it is just not a whole lot at the wide receiver room coming back. And if you're going to have a passing game and a quarterback, you got to have somebody at wide receiver, step up and be that guy. And so maybe we're listing Jones, but maybe it's kind of a combination of multiple guys in this spot at number 11 where somebody else could step up because we didn't have Wright or Morris on our list, even though they're going to have to be key contributors for this team to do what they want to do. But you were out there. You saw some of the plays that he made all spring. Most of them, I mean, the spring game touchdown that he had. What do you make of where we have Jones at number 11?
I think that's a perfect number. I mean, 10, 11, 12, whatever. I wouldn't put him in the top 10 right now. And he's got top 10. He's got number one hype. And maybe he's going to live up to that right off the bat. But, I think we have to be a little bit careful here. It's the whole Taylon Green and Chris Marshalls and Malachi Nelsons of the world. And we've seen so many hype players just show up. Now, the difference here is I think that this dude is not only a great athlete, maybe the best athlete on this roster, but I also think he's rock solid between the years. And I'm not sure I would say that. I mean, Taylon Green's a smart dude, and he gets it, and he's just trying to fix some mechanics in his throwing arm. Malachi Nelson and some of these other guys, Chris Marshall, I just thought that they were kind of loose cannons and soft in the head. For everything that I can tell, Rasean Jones is not soft in the head. We had his dad on the show. I think you've had his dad. Between his dad, who's a coach, and Spencer Danielson. And Spencer Danielson, you know what his favorite phrase is when it comes to Rasean Jones. He goes, I'm going to be in your life every day, son, to keep you humble and hungry. Humble and hungry. And that's exactly the approach the dad is taking as well. So tons of hype. I think Rasean Jones has heard it for his entire life. I think he's used to it. So I don't think he's walking around thinking he's the king of Boise this summer. I think he's kind of got his head buried and getting his work done. And listening to his coach, listening to his dad, and doing all the right things. So I cannot wait to see what he does. The wide receiver room is one of the bigger storylines for me. I've always said that Rasean Jones may lead Boise State in receiving, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of a committee. I've kind of predicted jokingly, maybe, I don't know, that Matt Wagner is going to lead this team in targets. But there's like 4, 5, 6 wide receivers. And I think the wide receiver room is going to be by committee. That doesn't mean that Rasean Jones isn't going to step up and be a rock star with, 8 catches and 210 yards and a touchdown every now and then, because he's going to have those kinds of games. But to sit here and I'll never forget, like 3 days before Ashton Genty's first game in the National Football League, Ball Game was predicting that Ashton Genty was going to run for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in his first ever NFL game. That's the kind of hype that's ridiculous. That's the kind of hype that you just don't really understand, or I just don't get. And I know that there's people out there talking about Rasean Jones is going to become a superstar against Oregon right off the bat. Guys, that's not going to happen. He's 17, 18 years old. He's got great talent. He's very, very humble. And he's in a system that's not going to feature a superstar. So, maybe that first year you kind of want to keep him humble and hungry. If he comes out and he's got a superstar season, let's say he leads the team in catches, yards, touchdowns. Frankly, dude, I'm a little worried about his future at Boise State if that happens.
Oh, no doubt. And it's funny because you mentioned all the hype of Genty, and then you mentioned 3 other guys in Green and Malachi Nelson and Chris Marshall, and I kept thinking Johnny. 100%. 100%. Hype never wins, man. Hype never wins, or hype rarely wins. I love Johnny, but you mentioned, again, when he's coming over, was in Oregon, went to school, Mike, in his senior year at Rocky Mountain, and, only had 345 receiving yards as a senior, but they moved him to running. He did have 629 rushing yards, had 12 total touchdowns. But again, 345 receiving yards his senior year of high school. Is the hype deserved because he himself 100% only him had this amazing spring and he's what appears to be the next great thing here, or is it because they have nobody else in the receiving core that looks like they're ready for that big of a role?
Yeah, a little bit of both, and then just throw in his pure athleticism. Don't forget he's a track guy and a really good track guy, and Spencer's done a nice job of recruiting speed and track guys. I love track guys on football teams, and the more track guys you can get on football teams, the better. And this guy's got a strong, maybe even a stronger track background than he does a football background in terms of success, because he hasn't been that successful on the football field in terms of stats. Let's keep it at that, because I think he's a hell of a football player. I think he's got a hell of a future. I think he is surrounded. He seems like a humble, hungry guy, and he's surrounded himself with a cocoon of really smart people. I really think that this guy is going to be fun to watch, and he's going to grow. I hope Boise State gets to keep him for at least 2 years, because that second year could be phenomenal. If we're having this conversation about Rasean Jones next year, the narrative is going to be much different. If he goes out and has himself a good year as a true freshman and sticks around at Boise State, I think he can explode into a national type of a player in his second season. I think he's got that kind of ability. And we all saw it at spring. We all know what the coaches are saying about it. I don't really buy hype. As a matter of fact, I use it as a negative and kind of dismiss it. In this particular case, I'm buying it. I'm totally buying it. But we have to be patient with him in his first year at football at Boise State, because he's not going to be a nationally known superstar, I don't think.
I know we're up against the clock here, but Matt Wagner, 24 catches last year, as you said, was the most. He's got the most returning catches. Matt Wagner, 24 of anybody on the team. You go to the receiving core, Ben Ford, 21, Bates, 17, Quentin Brown, 6. Again, 21, 17, and 6. Your top 3 returners at wide receiver. Your top 4 pass catchers all gone. Only 43 total catches last season are backed by the wide receiving room. Then you can throw in Wagner. I know they're expecting Morris and Wright and these guys to step up. But I don't know if I can ever remember. I'm sure they've had years where the production was this little returning. But, how badly do they need? If Rasean Jones does not live up to the hype, maybe somebody else will step up and take that place. But, does Maddox Madsen and this team need Rasean Jones to be a 40, 50 catch guy right out of the gate?
I think so. It wouldn't hurt. They need somebody to be that guy, whether that's Wagner, Cash Williams, Kimonte Williams. I think he had himself a spring that kind of stood out amongst some other people. So throw him into this mix of pool of guys. And one of those two new guys, Wright or Morris, one of those two guys I think is going to stick and be good. Ford's going to come back and have a couple of nice games and a couple of nice moments, but you can't count on him for an entire season. I think he's just too small. And, frankly, there's other players on that team that are kind of like him. So we'll see how all that plays out. But the Bates kid as well, Bates and Ford are kind of the same. Drops are a problem. The quarterback and his consistency of getting him the ball could be a problem. So there's a massive amount of questions about this wide receiver room. But I think the foundation is there. The pieces are there. The coaches have done their job. I like the players they brought in. I think you and I both like what we saw in spring ball. And I think the optimism is pretty high right now for that wide receiver room. And yeah, it's okay if Rasean Jones becomes the superstar. I just don't think it's going to happen, because I like the committee approach. Maybe even one of these Wright or Morris kids will be the leading pass catchers for Boise State this year.
And I know they're excited about Quamonte Williams and Terrius Favors and some of these younger guys stepping up at some point as well. But yeah, they've sounds like he's ready to go and going to be a big part of this, and that's why we have Jones at 11 on our list. I was telling Johnny yesterday, Prater, I can't think of a weekend that I can remember where there's as many all-star former Boise State football players back in town, with Ashton Genty. Khalil Shakir has something going on. Obviously, we have the event with the Gridiron Dreams. You've had a couple of those guys on with Brett Rippon and DeMarcus Lawrence and company back in town. What do we got on a Friday episode of Idaho Sports Talk? I know you've been talking to some of those guys. Brett Rippon, you had a couple days ago.
Let's go ahead and throw one more on there. Jake Plummer's camp is this weekend as well, guys, and he's doing it with our good friend Tim Brady and the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. I know you got a strong bond with those guys and a passionate connection with those guys. So Jake Plummer is in town for his annual appearance at the Thrills and Skills competition that they do for Tim Brady. So he's going to join our show today at 3:15. Yeah, it's crazy. Shaq's got his camp today at Bishop Kellen. He's golf tournament tomorrow at Timberstone. And Guerrero and the Gridiron Dreams gang are all going today and tomorrow at Boise High School. That's kind of crazy. Ashton Genty is flying into Boise today. They got off the practice field with the Raiders yesterday, flying into Boise today or maybe even tomorrow morning and doing his thing. He'll be back, I think, in another week or two for his camp that's coming up, if I remember right. And that's an annual tradition. So, yeah, if you are a stalker of former Boise State or Boise football alumni, including Jake Plummer, those guys are going to be out and about, and a lot of them are going to be roaming the cities of Boise these next couple of days. It's kind of a cool time. It's too bad that they have to put it all at the same time, because I'm sure there's families out there would like to go to a couple of those kinds of camps, but you got to kind of pick and choose when everybody picks the same weekend.
Yeah, pretty cool to have that many guys still want to come back and be a part of this, and it's a pretty cool reminder of some of the history of Boise State. We'll be listening 3 to 6 today, Mike. I'm going to keep this thing rolling for a little bit, but we'll let you guys get ready for your show. And 4:50, looking forward to jumping on and talking to you guys and kicking off the weekend officially at 3 o'clock on Idaho Sports Talk.
Let's continue this basketball conversation, and just kind of where we think this program is at 4:15 when we get you on the show today. I'd love to continue that conversation. Basketball is kind of fun to talk about right now.
Appreciate it. Sounds good. 3 to 6. Mike Prater, ball game. Greg, I think baseball's with Bob right on a Friday as well. So a lot going on with Idaho Sports Talk. Make sure you're watching Idaho Sports Talk, listening all their social media channels 3 to 6, and make sure you follow them for their daily video segment on YouTube and those as well. Prater, appreciate you, and we'll talk to you this afternoon.
Thanks, BJ. Have a great day, everybody.
Yep, there he is, Mike Prater, best in the business. Appreciate him for jumping on. Always appreciate Prater and his insights. And great interview yesterday with Max Rice. If you do want to go back and watch that, that's on their podcast online, but also on their video stream there on YouTube. You can go watch their interview with Max Rice. And they had some great interviews and conversations with him. Speaking of the Blue, 40th anniversary jackets are available now. You can go to the Blue and Orange store online, theblueandorangestore.com. Get all your officially licensed Boise State merchandise, the official in-venue provider of Boise State merchandise. Now the Blue and Orange store, theblueandorangestore.com. Jerseys, bumper stickers, card flags. You can get those customizable jerseys, by the way, there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. They'll screen print on the name and number of whoever you want right there in just a matter of seconds. They got the famous 14,000 plus hats on the hat wall there at the mall location. So the Blue and Orange store, check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. Hey, Signature Roofing online at mysignatureroofing.com. If you need a new roof, a repair to a roof, you want to get an inspection for a sale or something, selling your house, you need that inspection done, you want to get a free estimate, Signature Roofing is who you need to reach out to. I can help connect you with Joel, the owner, and the whole crew there directly, or reach out to them, mysignatureroofing.com. Tell them you heard about it on BNN, and they'll hook you up with a great deal. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. Same goes for Element Fencing. If you're looking for a new fence, maybe you got a repair to your fence that you haven't done in a while, and it's getting worse, and you need to get it done. Element Fencing can do it for you. They can match the fence and fix the repair, or they can help you build that brand new project from the ground up. Brady and his staff, 25 plus years in the fencing business. Decks, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl. They can do pergolas. I mean, you name it. I'm even talking to him about maybe a batting cage for my kid. Elementfencing.com, 631-2790. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Check them out across the Treasure Valley, the state of Idaho, even surrounding states. They've got one in Laramie, Wyoming, and other spots as well. So Ridley's Family Markets, if you just want that hometown feel when you go into a grocery store, that is our friends at Ridley's Family Markets. Check them out at shopridleys.com. And if you need some painting projects done, we got you covered. Rowpaint.com. Interior, exterior painting. They have that painter for a day project where you supply the paint and the area, and they supply the painter. And they got the concrete coatings. That's world famous as well. So many options. Industrial, residential, commercial. All your painting needs. Make sure you hit up our friends at rowpaint.com. All right, Tyler says, bummer that I'm out of town this week. Would love to run into some of the former Broncos. Somebody's disappointed there was too much basketball talk on the show today. Well, I hate to say it, Quintana's show, but they had more news. They hired a basketball coach that's a former player, and I hate to break it to you, but there hasn't been any football news going on. You should be lucky you even got 10 minutes, to be honest with you. It was closer to 15. I know you're just saying that, but it is what it is in the summer, folks. We have the countdown. We're giving you guaranteed football coverage every day on the show. We're counting down the 26 most important players. We're giving you breakdowns of the starting right guard and left guard and nose tackle yesterday with David Latu. Like, we're talking plenty of football, and we're stretching it as much as we can. But sometimes when the most newsworthy topic and controversial topic and the topic everyone's talking about is Max Rice and the basketball team hiring a coach, that's what we're going to talk about. So apologize if you were wanting 45 minutes of football talk, but there already has been, and there will continue to be plenty of shows where we talk nothing but football here throughout the summer. So when something basketball related happens, we're going to also give them coverage, because we don't just cover football in this show. We cover all Boise State sports. So we primarily focus on football and men's basketball, but we talk about the newsworthy topics. And today the newsworthy topic continues to be Max Rice. When the football team wants to hire a new coach or schedule a new game or be in the news, we'll continue to cover them more as well. But you got your Rasean Jones talk, and you'll get more talk moving forward here every show, football related. So appreciate you guys for checking out the show. Go get a Sun Cruiser this weekend. Go visit our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. I got some great sales going on. Their anniversary sale this weekend. Perfect weekend to get out and see Jim Sturk and company, Lithia Ford of Boise. You can view their full inventory of vehicles online, lithiafordboise.com. And perfect time to subscribe to BNN, BroncoNationNews.com. 60% off right now. 60% off. I know the scroll says 50. I said yesterday I would change it. I forgot. 60% off right now. That's like $50 one-time fee, and you get a full year of coverage. Chris Van Sickle's article today on Rasean Jones, all the recruits and high school recruits and commits that Chris has talked to and interviewed. You can read all those stories at BroncoNationNews.com. There's some message boards on there, a VIP board for subscribers. We do have the free board as well. But if you haven't checked it out, we're part of the 24/7 sports family, so you get access to all of those recruiting rankings and scouting reports and databases, all included in your subscription. And after the first year, you get the Paramount Plus subscription included as well. So coming up here on July 1st, we're going to start to have the renewals for the folks that were a subscriber last year. And the price does go up a little bit, but that also now includes your Paramount Plus subscription, which more than makes it worth it there. And you're going to get a lot of Pac-12 football games and things like that, and basketball. And then the Paramount Plus is going to start to pay off for that by itself. So you get the discounted rate for 1 year, and then when it goes to the full price, you do get the Paramount Plus included, which makes it a great deal to stick around. So we'll tell you more about that as we get closer to July 1st. But if you're thinking about it, now's the time. 60% off, one of the best offers we're going to have. And that's a full year, one-time fee, $50, $60, whatever it is. You're done for the year. You don't have to worry about it. And you get a full year of football season, full year of basketball season as well. So appreciate you guys for checking us out. Those of you that already have subscribed, we truly appreciate it. Those of you that haven't, we hope you'll think about doing so. And most importantly, guys, support the sponsors, many of which you see here on the screen around us, others that we've talked about. That's the name of the game, folks. If you like these shows and you want to have a show that you can complain about only getting 10 minutes of football coverage on June 5th, then you got to support the sponsors to keep these shows happening and keep them free. So support the sponsors. Tell them, more importantly, tell them you're supporting them because of their work with BNN, so they know that it's working. And if you'd like me to connect you directly, as I said, to many of our sponsors, I can do that just to make sure we get that connection and try to get you the best deal possible. So support the sponsors, go subscribe, and hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll be out at Settlers Park watching my 11-year-old Naismith play in a tournament this weekend, and it's nothing better in my life than watching my kids play baseball. So I'm looking forward to the weekend and hope you guys have a great weekend as well. I will join Johnny and Prater at 4:15, and we'll talk more about the basketball roster. And if anything news breaks, we'll have you covered throughout the weekend online, message boards, and the site, BroncoNationNews.com. And then we'll be back Monday morning at 9 a.m. to continue our discussion. Yes, we will have football talk on Monday, continuing our discussion. If you're going to the Monster Truck Show tomorrow, enjoy that. Have a great weekend, everybody, and drink some Sun Cruisers. And we'll talk to you Monday morning. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.